Hey guys, Moldran here, and Blizzcon is around the corner, and today I wanted to talk about it, what's coming up in the next few days, and also about Blizzard's cancelled MMO Titan. Now first about BlizzCon. As you can see, like Blizzard already announced the schedule and everything here, but while I was browsing through the schedule, I noticed that there are some gaps. So on the main stage, which is the column here on the very left, there's a gap directly after the opening ceremony here, and this, of course, is going to be filled with something. And then on Saturday, the second day of BlizzCon, there's also a gap right after the World of Warcraft live raid. So we have 2 time slots on the main stage that aren't filled yet by Blizzard. Now, what has been announced so far, they're going to make something about the Warcraft movies, they have the tournaments and stuff. Diablo isn't even on the main stage, but I also don't think Diablo is going to be at the main stage. Not this year, next year definitely with the next expansion. But what could it be that Blizzard did not announce yet? And my ideas go that one thing for sure is going to be the Hearthstone expansion. Now, even back in, I think, March or something, or even January, when I interviewed developers of Hearthstone, they mentioned they plan an expansion pack with more than 100 cards. And that might just be the time now. Now, there has been some speculation about a new Death Knight class, but a lot of people say, no, it's not a plan to release a class. But if I think like this, if there are 100 new cards coming into the game, it has to be a new class. And that might just very well be the Death Knight. And so I think it's very likely that we're going to hear a Hearthstone expansion. That would be pretty cool. I know there's been Nux out already. I've even played it myself. But compared to like what's coming up, next was just really small. And that's going to be interesting. Now the second time slot is even more interesting for me. Now, if they announce something in addition to the Hearthstone expansion pack, it is going to be one of the new games that have been in development for quite a few years now. But what games could that be? Now, currently, there are 2 game directors at Blizzard who work on unannounced titles. The first one is Mike Booth. Now, Mike Booth used to work for Valve. Before he worked for Westwood Studios, developed games like action RPG named Nox. It was a really, really good game. From my point of view, it was on the same level as Diablo 2. Then he developed Command & Conquer, and then he worked for Valve on games like Counter-Strike and Left 4 Dead or something. So he has some action RPG background, but mostly he worked on FPS games, and it's very likely that Blizzard works on at least one FPS game right now. So if they would announce a game like that, it's most likely going to be his game. The second game director with unannounced games is Jay Wilson. Now Jay Wilson, apart from Diablo 3, was mostly working on RTS games, so it could be a continuation of the Warcraft series, or maybe the StarCraft Ghost. It has been developed and cancelled a few years ago, so something like that is possible as well. Now, it could also be that both of them work on the same game, but it's also possible they work on different games. But I think they're going to announce a Hearthstone expansion pack this weekend, and also like one of those new games. Could be Warcraft 4, could be something StarCraft related, could be something completely new, or could be an FPS game. Those are kind of like my thoughts. Now I wish that Mike Booth, because Nox was such an amazing game, I actually wish that he would work on another action RPG, but that slot has already been given to Diablo Blizzard. I don't think they're gonna make another one. Now about Titan. A lot of people, or a lot of you guys probably already know what Titan was. It was Blizzard's new MMO, developed for I think 7 years or something. A lot of money went into it, a lot of development time, and suddenly this year Blizzard decided to cancel it. And reasons for cancellation were said to be cost, but first I want to show you what Titan was. Now, TitanFocus.info is a great source for Titan news, pretty much the best out there. And they spoke with some developers explaining what Titan was. And basically, it was a game that would have taken place on a near future version of Earth, in a science fiction version of the world where mankind has successfully fought off an alien invasion. Players join one of 3 factions, waging a cold war over control of the planet, and zones planned for game range from west coast of the United States to Europe, South America, Australia, and so on. So the world for Titan was supposed to be huge, but now it comes. What's different compared to the current MMOs? The main concept was this. You as a player would maintain a mundane job, butchering, engineering, entrepreneurship, run a business, whatever, during the day, and in the night you would basically fight against opponents. So it would pretty much be the game. During the day, you do the job, like whether an employee or have your own business in the game, and at night you would pretty much, the game would turn into like a Diablo where you slay monsters or slay other factions. So it would be kind of like a combination of games like The Sims and a game like Diablo or WoW, which is very combat based. And there are different classes, of course, some features. That was also interesting here. Players are able to run their own businesses and shops, and they can also maintain relationships with non-player customers, so very advanced AI, and even start families. So if you don't have a girlfriend in real life yet, that game would provide it for you, maybe, if you're good at it. And that was pretty much the game. Personally, here it says Titan cancellation cost Blizzard $50 million. Now, it's a decent amount of money, but for Blizzard, that's not that big. But it also says it's the lowest number, if another one bidding up to $140 million, that's more substantial. But the reason why they cancelled it said they realized that unless a big MMO is out of this world, unbelievable, it won't work in today's market, where it comes against a bunch of low-cost options, like Guild Wars 2, for example. And they felt it wasn't getting to a point where it makes sense to cut the losses. And I kind of agree with that. Now, if you look at the MMOs that came out in the last few years after World of Warcraft, there was Rift, Warhammer Online, Ion, Star Wars The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 was probably one of the most successful of those, but all of those, like, none has a player base near of World of Warcraft still. So if all those MMOs combined can't really make a big impact on the market, then that probably worried Blizzard that their own game can't do it as well. And it had a lot of development costs, and the question was, how are they able to like maintain or get money with it? Because they also stated they wanted to make Titan free to play, and if it becomes free to play, it's also, there would be like high server costs and everything. It's just, I think the project was just too big, and especially in a company like Blizzard, where everything is so big and all the processes are so slow. For example, you can see that Diablo, it takes so long to get a simple update, a simple thing of the game fixed or patch. Maybe it wasn't the right thing to develop a game like that. So, and especially with the success of Hearthstone, Blizzard decided to give more new or smaller franchises a try, and I think it makes sense from a business point of view. But personally, I'm really unhappy that the game got cancelled, because that would have been something that I would have loved to play. Now, as I said in the beginning, next few days are Blizzcon, and tomorrow I have my last exam, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cover all the new things. I'm going to cover the new game, going to cover the Hearthstone expansion. I'm really looking forward to it. Last BlizzCon I was there in person, this one I just have the virtual ticket, but it should be enough to cover it. And yeah, I love making videos. I'm really happy for all the positive feedback you guys gave me on my previous ones since I came back, and yeah, kind of like feels hard. Like every day I want to make videos, but currently university is really taking a lot of my time, and I hope it gets better towards the end of the year so I can start making more videos again and also stream for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts about BlizzCon, what you anticipate, what you think is going to be there, and thanks for watching. I'll be back.